Good evening. It is 7 o'clock here in Atlanta, and we have seen a dusting of snow bring icy conditions across North Georgia. And the winter weather advisory, the winter storm warnings, those are going to change a little bit here over the next hour. But what I can say is the accumulating snowfall is winding down now across portions of North Georgia, but the impacts on the roadways are nowhere near being done. And the reason why is our temperatures are so cold, the road temperatures are so cold, that this has created really slick, icy conditions, even though many of us didn't pick up hardly any snow. We're talking about just a dusting, less than a half an inch for a lot of spots here in the metro. Big picture, big storm system, a lot of moisture, but we were on the northern edge of that moisture. And in fact, many areas had such dry air. We just had flurries across northwest Georgia, but you can see that snow, historic storm, brought blizzard conditions to the coast of Louisiana, and now snow ongoing for the Florida Panhandle, Panama City, snow on the beach right now, and across southern Georgia, more of that snow as well. But as we zoom in here, you can see the back edge of the snow is just about out of our viewing area. We're now dry in Atlanta. We still have some of that snow coming down Greene County, Putnam County, Jasper County, southeastern Butts County, also Lamar and Pike and Upson counties. But the snow has finally finished for areas up to the northwest. We're talking about Henry County are now dry, luckily drying out as well for Coweta County, Fayette County. Those areas have seen numerous accidents on the roadways. In fact, in Sonoy, hearing several drivers have been stranded for more than 2 hours because of the treacherous icy conditions on the road. And this is just some of the examples of how slick the roads became with just a small amount of snow that came down. This is a picture from one of our 11 Alive Weather Impact team members on Facebook. This is from Lindsay in Tucker, and you can see here, this is Briarcliff Road at Henderson Mill Road, and we've got that very small coating of snow on the roadways, but underneath that snow is a layer of ice. So these cars were stranded. There's a lot of hills here in the metro, so drivers were having to help others get up and down those hills because their cars' tires didn't have any traction. They were sliding on the ice. They had no control of the wheels. Another picture of all of those slick roadways from College Park. Tiffany Harley sent in this photo. And this is a video from Oak Grove. And you can see these are two very nice neighbors trying to push this one car up the hill. And I'm not sure which road this was. I think it's very close to Briarcliff maybe, but very, very slick conditions. So they're trying to help that car out. And really what has happened is some of the snowflakes that fell, a lot of them are freezing on contact and being snow covered. But some of them, if they melted from the warmer car tires, then they refroze, and that has become like black ice slick on the roadways. They finally helped that car get up that small hillway, but very dangerous conditions outside. Snowfall totals just under an inch in East Spalding, about 3/4 of an inch of snow. Down in Columbus, down in central Georgia, they did pick up 1 to 2 inches of snow. Fayetteville, an inch of snow. Noonan, just under an inch, also 3/4 of an inch there in eastern Spalding County. So where do we go from here? Well, the snow is winding down. The impacts are not done. We're not expecting power outages, but because of the cold road temperatures, it's the roadways that are very treacherous if you got snow today. And then closures and delays are coming in for tomorrow morning. That's because the temperatures tonight are not going to warm above freezing. In fact, they continue to drop colder. So anything that fell today remains very dangerous and slick on the roadways, and it will stay that way through much of the morning tomorrow before sunshine comes up and finally starts to melt some of that away. Big picture, a lot of winter storm warnings and advisories lighting up the map. The National Weather Service just a couple of minutes ago said they're going to trim back some of these counties and the advisories and warnings. That will happen before the top of the 8 o'clock hour. Basically, the snow is done. Okay, we know that, but the impact from that snow remains. So the slick conditions, even though the snow, the accumulating snowfall is just about done, they're going to keep a lot of these advisories going through the overnight, but they might change which counties are in that advisory because on the northern edge of the system, the dry air won out. So we didn't end up seeing that far northern extent in the purple color and that advisory actually get accumulating snowfall. So what are we looking ahead towards the next 24 hours? Well, snow's tapering off now, Temperatures tonight fall to the teens, so that means the roads remain icy out there first thing tomorrow morning. It has now been 48 consecutive hours at or below freezing in Atlanta. We hit 32 yesterday. Today's high temperature was just 30. We had a low this morning of 20, and that's where we're headed back to for the overnight. In fact, down to the teens by first thing tomorrow morning. 17 will be the low in Atlanta. If you got fresh snow on the ground today, your numbers could be a little bit colder. The reason why is the skies will clear tonight, and that snow acts like a refrigerator or an ice box. So it insulates the cold, it keeps it in, it radiates the heat back out, and it means that areas that get snow often are colder than what some of the models predict them to be for the next morning. So teens for low temperatures tonight, wind chill down to the single digits first thing tomorrow morning. Then as we get into tomorrow afternoon, 37 degrees, so finally above freezing, but the wind chills will stay in the 20s. Now, one thing I want to stress is we've hit that 48-hour mark. I'm going to go back to that graphic. Usually when we get past that 48-hour mark of straight number of consecutive hours at or below the freezing mark, we start to see pipes freezing a lot more, and we start to see some of those pipes bursting. So if you had issues 2 years ago, December 2022, it's not going to be as cold with our numbers, but the duration of the freeze is getting up to that territory. So keep an eye on those most vulnerable pipes, maybe exterior walls on your home or something like that, and make sure they're not freezing up. You can leave a little drip in the faucets overnight tonight. For example, a lot of houses that were built in the 80s, like mine, have exterior pipes on the walls that are not insulated. You got to watch those ones the most closely if you didn't turn off the water to those, because those will be the ones that will freeze over and burst first versus the ones that are well on the inside of your house. So again, very cold temperatures tonight. Let me show you the forecast track for our feels like temperatures. This in blue, this shows you a new cold advisory for the overnight tonight. This is a new type of cold weather alert that the National Weather Service is doing this year. They went away with the wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings. It's now all just based on the cold. So we have cold weather advisories, extreme cold watches, and extreme cold warnings. Well, tonight we expect those wind chills in the metro to drop down between 5 and as much as 15. Most of us in the single digits, and up in far north Georgia could be between -5 and 5. Those numbers tomorrow morning for the actual temperatures, teens, single digits up across far north Georgia. And again, with fresh snow on the ground and the temperatures dropping, you notice some of these numbers there. LaGrange and Peachtree City even colder than that, down to 12 degrees. Wind chills tomorrow morning in the teens and single digits out the door. Very cold start to the day. Wind chills will stay below freezing in the afternoon, but what I do expect to transpire tomorrow is sunshine. So with sunshine coming back, even though we don't warm up that much, 37 and sunshine will at least help to melt away asphalt, okay? The snow off the asphalt and snow-covered things like that. We have more coverage on 11 Alive Plus throughout the evening. Updates if you download our 11 Alive app as well.